Hey, 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 happy Thursday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the founder and editor in chief, otherwise known as the Grand Poobah. Tonight is Thursday, October 3rd, 2019. This is episode 375 of The Daily Dope. Do want to mention, this is a live stream. This is very, very casual. It is not rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. So it is live, so that means there is chat. And chat is available on YouTube. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the stranger or more unusual commenters at bay. But I do pay attention to chat. So if you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you have a question, by all means, fire away. I will respond. Of course, if you like the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. And of course, if you check out some of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel and you like them, by all means, please subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little bell, because not only will that notify you of when I upload new videos, which I did one last night, it'll also tell you when the stream goes live within a couple of moments or so. Be sure to tell a friend. In fact, tell 2 friends. And when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on, you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So we've got chats already starting to pop. We've got John Vogel. We've got Dan from No Enemies Here. The Madman is in chat. Xsolera X1 is visiting once again. It's been a little while since Double X1 came in. So, good deal. Good deal. We got a Thursday night going on. I've got something new behind me. I wonder if anybody's going to notice. There is something new in the shot. It's behind me someplace. I don't know. I don't know if you can make it out. All depends on how big you've got the screen. Because if you're watching the show like on, say, a tablet or your phone or something like that, the background isn't really that blurred. But if you are watching on TV or if you watch full screen on a large monitor, you'll notice the background is a little blurry. That is intentionally going on. So Dan's asking if I'm saving my money for WBC next year. No, I am not. No, I am not saving my money. Come on, let's get real here. I had to cancel my PAX Unplugged plans because I purchased 2 new cameras so that you could see my ugly mug in much sharper focus. But I will say, Dan, that I did just finish recording a video to give you for your next episode of No Enemies Here. In fact, that's why I was about a minute late, because I did that first. But I will share some of the games that are coming up with some first looks, as well as some reviews once I finish up the news. Got quite a bit going on here. So Xsolera X says, X1, I should say, says lighting seems to have been improved. Yes, I did get some lighting. I got some new lighting in, which is actual studio lighting, not my half-assed daylight kind of bulb lighting. Although I have to admit, I do kind of fill some of the light with my daylight. They're actually floodlights, and they're perfect because it's the same kind of lighting. Because if you don't do this kind of stuff, or you're not real familiar with like lighting, there are different kinds of lights. So you can get light which has more of an orange tint to it, which is a lot of bulbs. Or you can get daylight, which has more of a blue tint to it. And I prefer the daylight. I'm not real keen on the orange. Because the daylight tends to give you truer colors. Like the white behind me looks white. If I had like those orange kind of tint then it would not look as white as it does. So, but anyway, lots going on. I've got some good, cool news tonight, and I will jump into that in just a moment. Just checking to see what's going on in chat. All right, 'cause sometimes someone will ask a question, and I'm so busy blabbing, talking about a news piece, it kind of just zips on past, and I don't see it. And I'm not trying to be rude and ignoring people's questions. So anyway, so shall we jump on into the news? Because there is a new miniatures-driven two-player combat title. It's coming from Steam Forged Games, and I've got the dope on God Tier. God Tier is a fast-paced action combat game for 2 players, in which each player takes their warband of champions and followers and battles rival warbands for control of the precious God Tiers scattered across the land. God Tier has been carefully designed to be quick to learn and throws players straight into the action, and also offers a huge depth of options and tactics to explore. With innovative and organic scenario mechanics, no 2 games of God Tier are ever the same. The aftermath of each game will leave you wanting to play again and again and again and again. At least again. There's huge replayability for players experimenting with different champion selections and playstyles. Champions progress and grow in power as you play through a narrative campaign, further customizing your gameplay experience. Built from the ground up, narrative-driven campaign-style play is featured. God Tier also offers balance and clarity of rules for highly competitive tournament play. God Tier is for 2 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 1 to 2 hours. It is going to carry an MSRP of $50 when it releases on December 6th. There are 2 starter sets. There is the Borderlands, and then there is also we'll see the slide in just a moment here. I think it's like the Eternal Forest or something like that, I noticed. Eternal Glade. There we go. And there's also going to be some expansions that introduce some new champions, which do feature their followers as well. Those are going to arrive on the same day. Those will carry an MSRP of $30, and you're seeing that slide right now as well. Sounds interesting. Miniatures look pretty cool, although I got to be honest, I couldn't share any of the photos of the close-ups of the minis because those photos were not coming from Steam Forged themselves. They were actual, private gamers' photos, and I don't steal those to use on the news. But look pretty cool. I got to admit, though, it does sound kind of a bit like Frostgrave from Osprey Games. In fact, it sounds like quite a lot of miniature games where you got champions, you've got followers, you're trying to score certain like victory point tokens or victory point locations. So, but this could be cool. Steam Forged makes some pretty cool games. So, don't know. You'll have to wait until December to find out. So there's a new game from Direwolf Digital and Renegade Game Studios. It has hit stores. It is in stores now. Here's the dope on Eternal Chronicles of the Throne. The Eternal Throne sits empty as scions of the royal family struggle for control. Dispatch those who oppose you by recruiting allies to your cause, researching powerful spells, and acquiring valuable relics. From the makers of the award-winning Clank, a deck-building adventure. Yes, I always say it like that. Eternal Chronicles of the Throne combines deck-building games and strategy card battlers into an intense strategic experience. Summon powerful allies to attack your opponents, or build an unbreakable defense. Will you exhibit patience and seek the power of the Eternal Throne, or forego such a risky path? Exhibit patience? Not me, it's always balls out. The decisions are yours in Eternal Chronicles of the Throne. Enter the six-gun and sorcery world of the hit digital card game Eternal in a new standalone tabletop game. where 2 to 4 players square off in an epic deck building duel with collectible card game combat. You can attack and block in a deep strategic combat system and play highly interactive, replayable games with a wide variety of strategies. Eternal Chronicles of the Throne is for 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays in around 20 to 30 minutes, and does carry an MSRP of $25. Seems like a pretty good price for a 4-player kind of battler game. Should be interesting. I gotta say, I am not familiar with the digital game Eternal. I have heard of it. I have not played it. But now we are actually seeing a digital game come to tabletop. So let's reverse course and let's talk about a tabletop card game that's gone digital. Because Handelabra Games and Indie Boards and Cards hit Aeon's End is now out on PC, iOS, and Android. And I've got the dope. Aeon's End is a deck building game where you create a team of up to 4 mages who will fight cooperatively to defeat whichever nameless nemesis has come through the breach today. You begin with a starting deck of 10 cards with 5 in hand. Each turn, you play gems to gain Aether, which is used to buy new gems and relics, learn new spells, and increase your casting potential by opening additional breaches. You can also play relics to give yourself or your allies a boost. Then prep spells to your opened or focused breaches to be ready to cast them on your subsequent turns. What makes Aeon's End unique is how it uses randomness. Unlike other deck building games, players do not shuffle their deck when it runs out. Digitally, that'll be so much easier because actually playing the physical game, you have to actually kind of like slap your hand. Stop it! Almost like that police chief in Young Frankenstein, right? Hey, or Dr. Strangelove, right? With the because I'm always trying to shuffle up the cards. I'm like, whoa, wait. Or somebody else I'm playing with is trying to shuffle their cards. It's like, no. The order in which you discard is preserved, so plan your discards carefully to set yourself up for subsequent turns. Instead, randomness in Aeon's End comes in the order of turns. At the start of each round, the turn order deck is shuffled to determine the order of play. Will the nemesis go twice in a row, pushing back the mage's defense? Will the mages get 4 turns in a row to set up for the oncoming onslaught? It can be hard to know what's coming next when you're deep in the melee. Finally, there's the City of Gravehold. The breach mages of Aeon's End are not just fighting for their own survival, but the survival of all of humanity, and the nameless know it. If Gravehold is ever reduced to 0 life, the mages have lost, and humanity is but a memory. Aeon's End is available for $9 on iOS and Android devices, or you can get it for PC over on Steam for $19.99. I do know that this has been out for PC for a little bit, not a long time, has been out for a little bit, but I believe it was today that Aeon's End became available on Android and iOS. So sweet. I really enjoy the card game. We really dug it. I reviewed it pretty recently. It was a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or so. And we all really liked it. And I can see that's going to be another game that I'll have to kind of keep around with me when I go over, go and hang out with my nephew Cameron. Yeah, got to make sure it's one of those games that kind of put it in the car in case he asks. So very cool. I would be very interested in checking this out. So I think they're sending me a code to check it out. But I don't do a lot of reviews for digital games. But I do want to say, speaking of digital games, there's one that came out today. It's for PC. It's over on Steam, and it's called Warsaw. And if you have ever played Darkest Dungeon, which is phenomenal, it's very, very cool. It kind of seems to have a similar vibe to it, like that, where it's kind of like you've got 4 characters and they have their special abilities, but it is supposed to be the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in 1944. So, and I have heard that the subject matter has been treated delicately, that it's not just some silly, okay, let's just take the Nazis and the Polish Jews and just, we'll just have fun with it. I think supposedly what I heard is they've handled it pretty well. So I might be checking that out because I really did dig Darkest Dungeon, and I know it's not the same developers or game company or anything like that, but it looks like it's got a similar kind of mechanic to it, which I really dug. All right, moving on to my next news piece. Chaosium Inc. We talked about this a couple of times already, talking about the free adventures they're going to be releasing on October 10th to mark the 1-year anniversary of the unfortunate passing of Greg Stafford. Well, I've got a little bit more dope. So first off, we've got the 7th Sea Adventure. So let's talk about that. October 10th is the first anniversary of the passing of Chaosium founder Greg Stafford. And to honor his legacy, we're encouraging Chaosium fans and gamers in general to play a tabletop game from October 10th to October 31st in his remembrance. To support that, Chaosium is releasing a set of new free adventures for all our major game systems: RuneQuest, Call of Cthulhu, King Arthur Pendragon, 7th Sea, and HeroQuest. We'll share the details of these scenarios between now and October 10th. So here's the first. 7th Sea creator John Wick has written a new adventure for the occasion, The Sword of Kings. Avalon is a land of legends, but none so mysterious as Cattlewitch, the Sword of Kings, the sword that was thought lost for centuries, but now a villainous noble in the Highland Marshes may be on the verge of discovering the sword, giving him the right to challenge Queen Elaine's claim to the throne of Avalon. Are the rumors true? And if they are, can your hero stop him before he uses the sword to cut through the delicate balance holding the Glamour Isles together? Sword of Kings will be available as a free download on October 10th. Also arriving on the 10th is the Lightless Beacon for Call of Cthulhu. The Lightless Beacon is a short standalone introductory scenario for Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, designed for novice keepers and players, though there's plenty here to enjoy for more experienced players and keepers too. It comes with 4 pre-generated investigators and should take around an hour to play. Advice is also given on adapting the game for 2 to 6 investigators, as well as how to expand the scenario for longer sessions. Now, you do notice I am sharing some images from interior pages. Those interior pages are from the Lightless Beacon because Michael O'Brien over at Chaosium was kind enough to actually send me a copy of the PDF. So I've got it already. I am going to take a look at it. I'm not going to do a review, but I will share my thoughts about it prior to its release on the 10th. As far as the other 3 adventures, I don't know anything about those just yet. Once I do learn more, I will bring that news to you. Flaming Herons arrived in chat too, so got a good chat cooking so far. So, also I should point out that Michael O'Brien is sending me the RuneQuest bestiary, as well as like the GM screen, which I think comes with a booklet. I don't know if it's an adventure, if it's just more stuff or what. So we're actually going to be reviewing that in the future. So we will have, of course, a first look page through video also. So I've got one last news piece, and I don't tend to share much news about realistic modern era role-playing games, but there is a new role-playing game from Feral Gamers Inc. And I've got the dope on Ghost Ops Joint Task Force. Exodus Acta Probat. The outcome justifies the deed. Emblazoned on the coat of arms of President George Washington and carried now on the unit insignia of the Joint Special Operations Feasibility Studies Group, also known as Joint Task Force Chimera. The men and women selected to take part in JTF Chimera are expected to live that creed, not to just do what needs to be done, but to be willing to sacrifice whatever it takes for mission accomplishment. JTF is a setting for the Ghost Ops modern-day covert ops RPG. Say that 5 times fast. Taking the multinational ICO of the original and replacing it with a more focused view of military special operations. This book contains new backgrounds and packages based on real-world U.S. Special Operations forces, a streamlined armory and motor pool consisting of a selection of what members of SOCOM would field, a reputation point system replacing dollars with the only currency operators truly care about, respect, a replacement of the safe house mechanic offering a more militarized version. There's a slew of optional rules allowing you to customize the difficulty and realism of your game experience. There's Operation Viper Blue, a short dynamic campaign intended to prepare both game master and player alike to the changes in the feral system. Take on the challenge of bringing up a new SOCOM unit from conception to Tier 1 status, or take on the roles of your favorite Delta Force or DevGru operators as they separate the wheat from the chaff on the modern battlefield. Joint Task Force is intended to complement Ghost Ops Core for those seeking a more military setting. Right now, you can score the 146-page PDF at DriveThruRPG for $12.99. Sounds like a good deal. And I have heard good things about Ghost Ops. I have just personally not taken a peek to check it out. So, that is it for the news. Of course, I was just talking about DriveThruRPG, and Gaming Gang and thus the Daily Dope are affiliated with the One Bookshelf site. So if you are going to go to, say, Wargame Vault or DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banners. That way, if you do make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. And all those little portions add up and actually usually pay for the hosting for the website every month. So, and there are a lot of people who use our banners, so that is very, very cool. I really, really do appreciate that. So, on the topic of paying for hosting, I am moving to a new server. I'm still with the same company. I'm moving to a new server. That migration is supposed to take place tonight into tomorrow. So it is possible, I shouldn't say possible, it's going to happen. TheGamingGang.com is not going to be online for a certain amount of time. So when you move to a new server, not only are all the files moved and everything else, you get a new IP address normally. So that's what's going to happen here. I have a new IP address. Then I have to actually point, it's known as the DNS, at that address. So that sometimes takes some time. Sometimes it can take up to, well, I used to work for GoDaddy way back in the day, back when GoDaddy was cool. So sometimes you can see migration take up to 72 hours. And because I am staying with the same company, because usually you migrate over and your files are still over on that other company's server. So regardless of where you might be in the world, you still pull up some version of the site. That doesn't happen when you're sticking with the same company. So there might be a period, well, don't know how long the site's going to be down is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you can see migration of the DNS really quick, sometimes within minutes. But then again, sometimes depending on where you are in the world, it might take up to 72 hours. So don't be shocked if you happen to go visit thegaminggang.com and you get like a not found. I'm not going anywhere. Everything's cool. Just moving to another server. Just kind of beefing things up a bit because, you know, people don't realize how popular that website actually is. The Gaming Gang pulls in a lot of folks. And there are gaming websites out there that people assume are way more popular, but I bring in way more traffic now. So, anywho, so just wanted to mention that. So Don't freak out. Oh my God, what's going on? Because I would. I'd be like, what? No enemies here? There's no show this Saturday? What's going on? It's Saturday. Where's the show? Right, Dan? All right. So, as I like to always point out, thegaminggang.com, the Gaming Gang channel, the show, all my videos are all pretty much not for profit. So, as I like to point out, if you like the site, if you like the channel, if you like the videos, by all means, please consider making a small donation to Lil Bub's Big Fund and the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Lil Bub's Big Fund does provide funds to organizations throughout the United States through grants, and these organizations do care for special needs animals who are awaiting adoption. Special needs animals like good old Lil Bub herself, who has all these crazy things wrong with her. So, anywho, so I like to point that out. So if you like the show, if you like the site, if you like the videos I do, please consider, toss a couple of bucks their way. I'm not sitting here with like a Patreon or Kickstarters begging you for money, like so many other people in this industry do. I don't. So, do something nice. And if you do, be sure to shoot me an email. My email address is right down there. And I will be happy to give you a shout out on the following show if you would like. So, John Bogle says, so, eat, drink, and be scary. That is the new thing that's behind me. Yep, I figured, Halloween's coming. Let's toss something up there. So, I was at the dollar store. Picking up junk, the usual, soap and crap like that. And I saw that, and I thought, okay, there you go. I'll get that. I'll grab that. So eat, drink, and be scary. Okay, so before I wrap up the show, do you want to talk about what's coming up? So you will start seeing videos this weekend popping up. Oh, yeah, actually, I should point out, if you didn't notice, I did a first look video at the Midderlands. Maybe it's pronounced Midderlands, but I don't think so. I think it's just pronounced Midderlands. From Monkey Blood Design and Publishing. I'm forgetting to say and Publishing. So I looked through all the books. I shared the zines that were sent, showed off the maps that came. So if you are interested in any way whatsoever with old school Renaissance role playing, you may want to take a peek because it looks pretty impressive. So I did actually crack open the core book, the main setting book, and started reading it last night. And it is interesting, I will admit. It is pretty interesting. So definitely check out that video. So anyway, so what's cooking? What's coming up? So I will have a first look at Thieves' Den. Let's move it over this way. And hey, see, there we go. Let me get that glare back here. There you go. There's some of my daylight lighting right there. Kind of filling. So I did a video about Thieves' Den for its Kickstarter. So of course it was successfully kickstarted. And this is the core game. I'm going to take a first look at the core game. There's also a small expansion. So I'm going to be taking a look at that as well. So that'll be a first look video. Morn Quest just arrived in the mail today. Just showed up. This is from Backspindle Games. This is a kind of like a fantasy game of Irish myth. So we will be taking a look at that. So those are the first look videos. So the reviews are rolling out. So I will have my Pearlbrook review for Everdell. So that will be popping up. I will finally get my Last 100 Yards review done. I've shot some of it. I haven't shot all of it. So that will get finished up. So I'm sure these will be, this review will be of interest to Dan's audience. Dan's audience might be interested in Brides and Bribes too, which I will have my review of this out. This game kind of looks like it's, so you're like marrying off, daughters and, things like that. Yeah, you are, but it's super cutthroat and it's very Machiavellian. So I guess I'm kind of giving a clue away that, yeah, I like it. And then finally, I will also be reviewing Delta Green. Yep. So both the Agent's Handbook and the Handler's Guide are going to get their review videos out. So lots going on. A lot of videos cooking. So yeah, so stay tuned. And of course, that's one of the reasons why if you're a subscriber, and I hope if you watch, you do subscribe. But that's why it's so important for you to ring that little bell, that little notification, because then it'll tell you when new videos pop up. And like for an example, my video for the Midderlands, granted, it was uploaded before 10 p.m. yesterday, but it wasn't processed and everything else until about 10 o'clock. So a lot of times it's early morning, wee hours of the morning sometimes that these videos go up. So they could kind of fly under your radar if you don't ring that little bell. All right, so that is it for tonight's show. As I like to always point out, if you like the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. And of course, I was just talking about subscribing. If you do, ring that bell. So also, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com. Maybe just not tonight or into tomorrow, because it probably won't be up. But, in a couple of days, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on, you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody who hung out and chat tonight, thank you very much. I always appreciate you keeping me company, so I'm not just sitting here talking into a camera lens like a doofus. I'm not saying I'm not a doofus. I'm just saying like it. So, and of course, if you watch after the fact, I really appreciate that as well. You can watch live or on Memorex. It's all good with me. So, I will be back tomorrow. It will be Friday, so we will be wrapping up the work week tomorrow night. So until then, have a great Thursday night. And of course, happy trails. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-boo. Zubba-dubba-dubba-dubba-boo. Zibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-boo. Hey, hi. I didn't realize that you were still here. You must be sitting waiting for YouTube and its infinite wisdom to actually autoplay you your next video. Well, if that happens to be the case, I only have 20 seconds for me to be able to provide all this info to you, so get ready. If you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang, click right here. Or if you'd like to check out the latest episode of The Daily Dope, click right here. Or if you'd like to check out a randomly selected video, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.